So we have to start this video by talking about Odyssey Jones because this is a news story that just can't wait for tomorrow's News You Might Have Missed video. Just yesterday, we all wondered what was going on with Odyssey Jones. He was removed from the WWE online roster page, and today Sean Ross Sapp has posted confirmation. Odyssey Jones was removed from TV when domestic violence allegations came to light. Obviously, there's been no arrest or charges being pressed in relation to this situation right now, and it's important to stress these are allegations. The latest report from Brian Alvarez states that he's heard that Odyssey Jones has been fired. There's been no other confirmation on that as of right now. I'm sure there's going to be more news regarding this, and we will cover it on News You Might Have Missed tomorrow if there is. If the allegations are true, all I can say is what a waste of potential. What an absolute waste of potential. Honestly, waiting years for Odyssey Jones on the main roster. He comes around, has 2 matches, and it looks like he potentially is gone from WWE. Such a waste. Let's focus on the positive. This is Things You Might Have Missed from NXT. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. Guys, it happened. Forget the rest of the show. NXT, 10 out of 10. Tatum Paxley has found a friend. An old friend. Lyra Valkyria came back for Tatum Paxley. Once friends turned bitter enemies. I think Lyra Valkyria now sees the true heart of Tatum Paxley, and now she's here to save her. Tatum Paxley would go one-on-one tonight with Rosemary in a C Wrestling Dream match. With Wendy Choo at ringside, Rosemary just looked to inflict pain on Tatum Paxley. Some unique offense though, and Tatum Paxley would defeat Rosemary. It was then in the post-match that Wendy and Rosemary would work together, beating up Tatum until Lyra would make the save. Honestly, so good to see. Tyra back together again. You love to see it. All is right in the world of NXT. But we need to ask the question, and I didn't get to ask this last week because we didn't do NXT Things You Might Have Missed, but Rosemary in NXT is something I've always wanted to see. Her working with Wendy Choo I find really interesting. In TNA, they've got the Undead Realm that Rosemary's always been a part of. And it works in like a hierarchy thing. And the fact that she seems to be like following orders from Wendy Choo, is that because Wendy Choo opened the door for her to be in NXT? Or is there another reason? Is Wendy Choo actually that powerful? Maybe. I will state though, you know what this means. Next week, potentially a tag match. Rosemary and Wendy versus Tyra. I think so. I can't wait for that. Another C Wrestling Dream match. I love you, Chef Shawn Michaels. Later in the show, Lyra would confirm to Tatum that she has backup now. Now, Tatum would say that I have your back on Raw. A little Easter egg, Lyra would say that slow down. That's one of the problems. You didn't let me have other friends. So that kind of alludes to the fact Tatum will not be the mystery partner next week. Honestly, I think that's a shame. I think they should do it. Have Tatum be the mystery tag team partner for Lyra and Zelina. I'd like to see it. The first match of tonight was a triple threat tag team match with the Rascals taking on Gallus and Hank and Tank. I praise it all the time, and it's got to be said again. I love that one man from each team was legal in the ring at all times. That's the way these matches should be done. The match was won by the Rascals, so the TNA guys winning again. Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel are now the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. I will admit, though, I thought the end of this match was actually quite funny because everyone expected Wesley to screw the Rascals. Well, no, Joe Coffey would get involved, which would bring out Javon Evans. Gallows and Anderson would then get involved and they'd take out Hank and Tank. So it does look like we're going to prolong that feud with the Good Brothers and Hank and Tank. But of course, that would allow the Rascals to pick up the win. So I just thought everyone was waiting for Wesley, and we got everything but Wesley. But this is the match for next week. This is going to be fun. But this is where I think Wesley screws the Rascals, right? Are we on the same page? The massive breaking news from before NXT, Jordynne Grace posting onto social media that next week on NXT, for the first time ever, she will defend the TNA Knockouts Championship on NXT. Now, this is another example of WWE putting out everything for next week. It will be WWE Week on USA with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, all on the USA Network in America. So this is a good thing. Obviously, we're going to get a great match. We don't know who the opponent is. This is an open challenge, and there's a lot of speculation on who it could be, because genuinely, you'd feel like WWE are going to want to go balls to the wall with this one and make it maybe a surprise. Someone like Delta, Stephanie Vicure maybe. Oro Mensahs will go one-on-one with Lexis King. Nice little match, but the ending, oh my god, Lexis King telling Oro Mensahs that his father should have burned to ashes. Like, that's dark as fuck, isn't it? Come on. That would fire up Oro Mensahs, but of course he'd take his eye off the ball. Lexis King using the ropes to win the match. Oro Mensahs obviously still angry, chasing Lexis King out. This seems like this is going to be a new feud going forward. And I mean, the fact it got so personal so quickly, I'm down for that. The show started tonight with Pete Dunne, not Butch, and Trick Williams brawling, and this would be a theme. Throughout the first hour, we'd see multiple backstage segments where they were brawling until Ava would send them out for their what was originally a main event match early at the start of the second hour. Pretty good match with both men just trying to hurt each other. The result being both men going through the announce table and the referee counting a double count out. Now, this wouldn't stop anything, as the two would continue to brawl. The feud isn't over yet, that's for damn sure. Ridge Holland would explain why he turned on Chase U at No Mercy, talking about the importance to him of being a champion, talking about the mediocrity that lost him that championship, talking about how Duke Hudson would be the one to question him all the time. He even destroyed Duke's trophy. He was saying how next week he is going to dismantle Chase U, and even sending Thea Hale a message saying he's going to enjoy every single second of it. This is a totally different Ridge Holland, and I'm here for this. With the help of Cedric Alexander, Javon Evans would defeat Joe Coffey tonight. But I got to talk about Oba Femi. A lot of people tagging me, a lot of people asking in DMs my thoughts on this promo. Oba Femi would tell Adriana Rizzo that in some cultures, women should be seen, not heard. A lot of people on Twitter complaining about this. A lot of people laughing about it. I think this is character work. I don't think this is anything you should cancel Oba Femi over. Oba is the ruler of NXT, and as a ruler of NXT, you get a big head and your confidence grows, and I think that's what you're seeing here. Well, the underboss Stacks would look to humble the ruler of NXT tonight, and try was a good word, and Oba Femi was just dominant, sending a message to Tony D'Angelo as it's very clear this feud's not done yet. To the annoyance of Charlie Dempsey, Ren Sinclair has given Javon Evans a Heritage Cup match next week on NXT. We also found out that Trick and Pete Dunne will go head-to-head again next week in a last man standing match, with the winner facing off against Ethan Page. Fatal Influence would beat down Jada Parker after Jada would defeat Jasmine Nix. Well, the main event was reserved for Roxanne Perez, as it should have been Sunday. Chelsea Green would come out. Chelsea would challenge Roxanne Perez, but the newcomer Giulia would come out, introducing herself to Chelsea Green, grabbed the mic and just said to Roxanne Perez, "Me, you, CW." Guys, did she actually say, "You, me, see wrestling"? What? I'm totally in there. Guys, screw the outro. I'm done. 10 out of 10. See you next time.